Good. All right, there we go. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Vintage Chill and Chat. My name is Sammy Thunder, and I realize I need to make a quick edit. We're going to just pull this down here a little bit, and I think that should help things. There we go. So I'm going to be the first time we're doing this, but for tonight's Vintage Chill and Chat, because I just joined the Just Collect team as a consultant ambassador, as a support of what their mission, what they're doing, and their business model, and everything beyond that. Going to be putting Just Collect, their logo, Leighton's logo, as a sponsor for this live stream. In case you guys haven't known, I think my majority of my viewers have seen and have heard and know that going forward, I will be working with Leighton and J5, um, uh, helping them in any way, in any capacity, providing opportunities for first dibs collections. So they get collections all the time, but if they'll have a group of cards that they want to offer my viewers an opportunity to first buy them before the general public gets a look at them. And also just put it out there. Don't want to kind of it's don't have to really continuously preach this, but for anybody really who's watching that's thinking about moving some of their pieces or moving their entire collection, or just curious about getting it appraised and don't know where to start. Listen, Leighton is one of the best in the business. He's a guy who's been doing this for quite a long time and has a very soft approach to this. And, again, a collector at heart. So he really, he's a genuine and a humble collector and person that I've gotten to know over the years. And so, by proxy, I'm here to help support that process. So whether it's one of my viewers who's looking to move some stuff or move their entire collection or want to get it appraised, you can let me know. Reach out to me, because be happy to kind of help you any way I can in any capacity. So yeah, a lot has happened this week. I don't know if we really have to go too far into it unless you guys want to. I don't really have much of an opinion on this beyond just if we're okay, just the elephant in the room. We're talking about the whole shill bidding business, and listen, I'm going to be as straightforward as I can be. Is that shill bidding? I think it's just absolutely wrong. There's no place for it. It's obviously been around this whole the business for such a long time, and I think it's just like I said, it has no place. It's unwarranted, and um it's an unfortunate sadness that exists. And for someone to be as transparent about it, and also to call other collectors idiots because they don't, that nobody, they don't want you to get a good deal on something, I think is just downright rotten. And um, to openly admit, and there's just no justification for it. So, like, I'm not gonna. There's no reason to dive too far into this. I think it's pretty straightforward. I don't think this needs to be debated. This is simply just right. This is a matter of right and wrong. And if you can't act and behave in a way that exhibits professionalism, enthusiasm, and compassion, and for your a fellow collector, I just don't. I couldn't really. I can't. I couldn't really associate myself with someone like that. So, just my 2 cents. That's kind of where I stand on things. That being said, on a more positive note, um, you guys saw the live stream last week at Four Collectors. If you haven't, you can watch it. It was a recap of the Shriners show. The Shriners show, of course, was excellent. Um, always good to see friends there that you don't really see that often. A lot of the New Englanders, collectors that have content here on YouTube, I got a chance to see, and it was great. Jake through organized the event at a brewery, and it was great. It was a lot of fun. It was a great chance to kind of chat. I got a chance to meet Shane from Shoebox Legends, who I've never met before, and that was a pleasure hanging out with him and Keith from Lonely Basement. I love Keith to death. Keith is one of the better friends in the hobby that I associate with. Probably partially because of the fact that he's also in New York as well, and we see each other pretty frequently. But Lonely Basement baseball cards. Keith is a person that um, obviously a very devoted and serious collector, but at the same time, he's a very lighthearted person, and a lot of produces a lot of fun satire that I think people enjoy, and I really enjoy it too. Mookie Chilson, of course. Mookie wasn't there, but I know Mookie would have enjoyed it. Let's see who else. Dan's Vintage Baseball PC was there. Mike from Junk Wax Hero doing the. I didn't realize it was called Papa Shot, but the little basketball game where you kind of like shoot, you try to get the high score. I guess it's called Papa Shot. So that was cool. Mike put some money down for all of for he was playing most of the games. I think I jumped in one or two. He tried to get his buddy Oliver to play, but I guess he didn't want to. So, um, yeah, all in all, man, Shriners was good. I didn't really make too many pickups. I showed this last week, and I showed this in the video, but this is kind of a unique pickup from Howard Chasser's table. 51 roll fast bicycles, and Willie Mays was part of that whole photo shoot that they did. And so I part of my video tonight was to talk a little bit about some submissions plans that I have, but the Philly show is coming up in December. It's an opportunity to drop stuff off. It's really just a shame that SGC is not doing this anymore, and we see the numbers. And things are dropping like flies. They went from 60,000 submissions in September to 50,000 in October, and I'm afraid to even think about what they're going to be in November. It's I have stuff that I'm waiting to get back from SGC. That's going to be hopefully coming in soon. I'll probably have to email them because it's been in the receive state for about 16 business days now, and so I know they give a window of 15 to 20. I don't know if that 15 to 20 includes like turnaround time. I know some people who have submitted cards October 6th, and they just got their scans. I think like I don't know last week or so. Let me do let's do a roll call. Carlisle, good to have you here, man. Thank you so much for coming. Andy, thank you. Good evening. eBay is here. What's up, buddy? Thank you so much for coming by. Jim, thank you so much. Hello. Mike from Jayhawker. Dave from Peacemaker Cards, thank you for coming. Mike Good, Fireside Chats, perhaps that might be the way things go once it gets really cold over here in the Northeast. Sven, good evening. Glad to have you here. Bizza versus Jizza on the screen and snow falling outside here in West New York. I hear that. Yeah, I heard about that. There's a lot of snowfall, and there's supposed to be some freezing weather coming in tomorrow. Dan from Steel City, what's up, buddy? Thank you. I hope you're having a good Sunday as well, man. Still have your sign up, looking at it right here. There's always going to be a ball game today at the Polo Grounds. So, such a cool sign. Thank you again for thinking of me. Good evening, everyone. Just settling in from the Dallas show, ready to chill. Hope the Dallas show was good. I saw bits and pieces of it from other channels. Steve with the PH is here. Good to have you here. Warren D in the CLE. Good choice on Just Collect Leighton. Yeah, like I said, Leighton is one of the best in the business, so for sure. Mr. Wilhelm, bear down. Ross Loves Cards is here. Good to have you here, Ross. Just checking in with Adam's Card Closet. Good to have you here, Adam. And Foe is here. Dana Carlos video on show bidding was great. Highly recommend watching. Yeah, I watched about half of it, and they're um, Dan and Carlos do really, yeah, they go really well together on the when they do their when Carlos runs a live stream and Dan's on. It's very it flows naturally. Shane is awesome. Keith is a blast. Yeah, both guys are awesome. They're great people. Diamond Gems, good to have you here. Um, Carlos saying his SGC submissions seem to be late. That seems to be the consensus here. Let's see. Oh, my buddy Jason is here. Good to have Jason here. Do you plan on going to the Hudson Valley Renegade show next week? I don't anticipate going. I plan on going to the Mount Kisco show on Sunday. Saturday I have something else I'm going to be doing, so I assume that's when the Hudson Valley Renegade show is. But if it's Sunday, Mount Kisco has got my attention first. And I think we're good. Roll call is done. So, yeah, this weekend I went to the veterans show that Mike from Fishkill runs, and it was a nice show. It was cool. I got a chance to buy a few things for my binder and some packs that I ripped, but nothing really significant, nothing really massive, like not a giant card, but a couple of like two cards that were about $30. So it was a Eddie Murray rookie card and a Nolan Ryan. So, but they looked really good. It was a nice pickup for the binder. So yeah, as far as hobby shenanigans go, I mean, I'll tell you guys firsthand. There's 39 people here, and I imagine some of them are going to be in the Northeast area or the general New York City area. At least some of you are, perhaps. But without really going into too much detail about it, this is more of just kind of an inquiry, kind of a feeler to see how many of you out there would be interested in coming. But myself, I'm kind of like representing it, but from the group, from the four collectors, Dan and I will be working on this along with Brian from Card Soup. But four collectors, putting our brand on it, we are going to be putting together another trade night in New York City, which I'm really excited by. We're going to be partnering with some people, some groups, that one of which will be hosting it at their facilities in the city. And so we're going to be putting this together, trying to put a feeler out there. More details will be issued. You're going to see a lot more stuff in For Collectors going forward, probably in December, January, those 2 months. The plan is for February is when we will have this event. Don't have an official date yet. We're going to finalize it in a few weeks. And so my understanding is we will have pizza available. So it's going to be on a Sunday afternoon. There's going to be pizza available, some gift bags with some cards, and it's going to be free, so you can come in. I believe the hours would be somewhere like around 12 to 5 p.m., but nothing's finalized yet. And so, and Andy, I'm seeing what you're saying about 5 minutes from Jersey Transit. So what's nice is I believe you can get to if you take like the PATH train, you can get to this event within like walking distance. So it's just, yeah, it's a lot to look forward to. Really the kind of feel is that it's going to be on a Sunday afternoon. We wanted to do it after the football season was over, so we're not competing with any football games, and also wanted to do it when there's not a big giant card show happening. So that was also part of the process as well. But like I said, there's going to be a lot of promotion and pushing for this in the next few weeks. Probably, I don't know, maybe after Thanksgiving, perhaps. But I'm really looking forward to it. This has been in the works for weeks now. We've been having a lot of conversations with the kind of like the co-organizers of who's going to be involved in this. And again, I love the atmosphere of a trade night. I love interacting and seeing people in the within the New York City collectors group, and also love to see what people bring with them. I'm probably not going to bring much stuff with me, maybe a few things, but um, yeah, I'm just again without going into too much detail about it because there's more going to come out and more things need to be discussed. But just be on the lookout for that. You'll hear it from my channel. You'll hear it from For Collectors. I'm sure Dan will promote it as well. B Roth Card Soup will do his work on his end. And you'll hear it from the co-organizers as well. So David G is asking, would it be on a weekday or weekend? Definitely on a weekend for sure. Sunday, we're thinking Sunday from 12 to 5 p.m. That's kind of what we're looking at, afternoon sort of thing. So it doesn't, it's yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. I live in Hudson Valley, but work in New York City in one of those big red trucks with the sirens on them, and would love a meetup trade night. Yeah, so I guess in this case it would be a trade day, but anyway. Andy says I could do a city trade night yeah. So it's gonna be a lot of fun, man. A lot to look forward to, and it sounds like David would want to go too. So, like I mentioned, guys, more to come, more to be announced about that. I wanted to give a soft launch on it here tonight, and to give you the preliminary details as far as what to expect. Very low key, casual, laid back environment, as I would kind of imagine. People just, it's like a kind of a networking event as well. You can, meet other collectors. I'm sure there's going to be other content creators there as well from different platforms on Instagram and YouTube. And so yeah, we're kind of at the beginning stages of it, but yeah, man, I'm really excited to share the details with you. I can't share them yet, but you'll hear more about it in a few weeks. Anybody here who, I guess, kind of sticking with the topic of New Yorkers, but is anybody here going to the Thanksgiving show at Hofstra? I went to the Hofstra show. I guess it was 3 weeks ago now. It's a good show. I enjoyed it. But I'm curious if anybody's going to the one Thanksgiving weekend. I was kind of surprised they brought it back. So because they did it it wasn't Lucky's at this point, but I think it was still Jim Ryan who was running the Thanksgiving shows. They were doing it at the time before they got the county center back. They were doing it at the Marriott in what's it called? The Marriott in Tarrytown. They did it there for a couple of years, and then they stopped doing it. Probably because I'm guessing because of turnout, perhaps, but I'm not sure. eBay saying, "Why not White Plains?" That was always and they're doing it this year in Long Island. So. Something going on with Lucky in the White Plains building. I don't know about that because I think they, on this side, there's news that I don't know about. But Dan, yeah, looking forward to the Net 54 event. I haven't planned anything. I'm waiting to hear back from Andrew, Enough Said Cards, because he's the one who's kind of like behind the planning for the Net 54 event. But like, you want to be in a room where you see some like just out of this world rare cards. You just don't primarily pre-war rare scarce stuff. It's not a card show. It's more of just a gathering of collectors who want to showcase some of the coolest, rarest pieces they own. It's out of this world. Anyway, going back to what I was saying. So I want to get your advice on something. I've always submitted with SGC. That's the brand that I've always felt a connection with, as far as like their the aesthetic of their slabs always looked great. But given the turnaround time and the lack of submissions that are happening, it's a little startling to continue submitting cards to them, but I guess it really hasn't stopped anybody. But I have a unique situation. I want to get your thoughts on this. So I have cards I want to submit, and there's two pieces in particular that are I feel as though would be very slow, even slower than a traditional submission if I were to go with SGC. The reason why I say this, these two pieces would create a significant delay is because research would have to probably be done on their part, as I've never seen these two pieces slabbed before. What I'm talking about are, as my I'm going to butcher the name, Rayleighs, but it's not autographed for those that are wondering, but it is a photo that was given out to customers on a given day when Willie Mays was making an appearance. And we're just going to go with Rally's. So Rally's was a grocery, or is a grocery store. I think they're still in business. They're based in California, and they were given, this was given out. Um, and so you would bring it up to Willie Mays, he would sign it, and yeah, you have a cool looking card. Now, I got this off of Facebook through another Willie Mays collector who was letting this go. And okay, John's helping me out here. Rayleigh's. Okay, thank you, John. So Rayleigh's, we're gonna call it Rayleigh's. So I picked this up through another Willie Mays collector on Facebook, and my goal was to get this. I wanted to get this put into a slab. I understand it's like a low grade, or it's a low grade, or classified as an authentic piece. I've had this for about like 4 or 5 months now, and my thought is, if I were to submit this with SGC, given everything that's happening right now, I wouldn't see this back, in the traditional 15 to 20 turnaround business days, or whatever, the 15, 20 business days. I feel as though this would stay put. This would sit and sit and sit. Also, I don't know. I could be wrong, but I figured if I bring this to Philly and I go to the PSA table and I submit this with PSA, and I kind of put in, because I know this has not been put into a PSA or an SGC slab before, that this would, I'd have to process and put the name. Now, the information that I have on this is that it's from Net54. A person who has one that's much cleaner looking and actually autographed was there at the supermarket with, I think he said he was 11 or 12 years old, and he what's it called? He got it autographed and he's had it, and from what he explained is that this is from 1962. So 1962. And so when I submit it with the PSA or SGC, I'm going to have to fill out a brand new identifier, because I'm pretty certain this is not going to come up as 1962 Rayleigh's postcard photograph. I don't know how. And then from there, they would have to kind of, take it from there. My concern is, if I go with SGC, this is going to just sit around forever, and they may not want to put this in a slab. I don't know what their history is with slabbing something they've never slabbed before. So I don't know. Matt is saying that BGS charges 26 for the oversized. They will definitely do the research. Okay. I probably, calling them probably should. It's worth maybe. I mean, SGC, you can't call them, but I guess PSA you can. I don't really know I don't know the ins and outs of that, but this is one of the pieces that I think it would just be really cool to get it slabbed, and yeah. The second piece is my most recent maze pickup, and that's the 51 roll fast bicycles. I showed this earlier. These are the two pieces that I would say kind of draw the most concern about getting this, getting this slab. So um, I'm just kind of looking at the chat as well as we're going. But John is saying SGC used to do the research. Who knows now? That's my concern, given everything that's going on with them. Do they still have that same level of sophistication they once had? I don't know. I think I'd also be comfortable submitting this in person. And unfortunately, SGC is no longer appearing in person. That's just the unfortunate truth. Dan says separately, I've been submitting a lot of slab corrections to PSA recently. The customer service at PSA has been pretty helpful, and no charge plus free shipping. Interesting. Looks like it's wider than the postcard would cost 50 with SGC if it is. I believe their submission maximum or their size maximum is like 3x5. I believe might be a little larger. Also may come back in a cracked slab like Greg's have recently. That would certainly not be good. I didn't realize that Greg had a slab that came back cracked. That's unfortunate. Everyone in the chat seems to be mentioning that Lenny Wilkins passed away, so that's unfortunate as well. Great, good player, good coach. Andy says he's still submitting with SGC until they tell me I can't. Latest door to door for me is about 6 weeks. Yeah. I had for my latest submission had 2 reholders, or I think 2 reholders, maybe 3, and 2 submissions. So that is that. What's the other piece that you're submitting? Seth is asking. So those are the 2 pieces that had the most concern as far as research goes, because I plan on just entering it in probably for the first time in their system, and then once they get it, they're going to have to do whatever they do to confirm it. So I'm hoping they. I feel as though, I don't know, PSA has the resources right now. SGC just does not. So the other pieces I was going to submit is going to be my. I want to say this is 50. When I last checked, it was I think it was 55. I think this is the 1955 J Publishing New York Giants of Willie Mays. So this is kind of cool. I have the entire set. So I was thinking about submitting that one, and Stan Locke has the Monty Irvin. I accidentally gave it to him when I sold him another J Publishing set, and I didn't realize that the Monty Irvin from the 55 was in there. Just a mistake on my part. That was at Strongsville, so he's going to be at the Philly show, and he said the next I'll just pick it up from him. So I was thinking about submitting the Monty Irvin and the Willie Mays together. So that was part of my plan. StarCal decal. Been wanting to submit this for a while. I know these only get authentics, but definitely want to get this. And I want to get the Bobby Thompson Coca-Cola card slabbed, or the die cut slabbed as well. So I think, what is that? 5 pieces total, I think, overall. So that's my plan. If you don't care about the grade, they would look great in a clear CGC. Yeah, I mean, I don't care about the grades really. It's, that's maybe the J Publishing and the Bobby Thompson would be fun. The other pieces, obviously, it's not a concern. grades are not really something in the frame of my mind, especially with these pieces. So, business said he had multiple on separate orders, multiple cracked slabs, or just because if that's the case, that's really unfortunate. Strongsville website still lists SGC as appearing. I wonder when that will get updated. I'm sure they will update it eventually. Shriners had SGC, or the Great Boston Sports Collectors Club. I need to make the distinction. Great the Greater Boston Sports Collectors Club, who hosts shows at Shriners in the fall. They had SGC on there for a while. Thank you, Stephen. I think they will look great in slabs. So that's my plan for Phillies to submit these. I think I'm probably going to go with PSA for all of them. Despite the woes of SGC right now. Yeah, that's probably my plan. Sammy, any thoughts about the Nationals seemingly squeezing out the individual from trade nights to motel blocking? Okay, I have a lot to say on that subject. So I'm going to try to have this make as much sense as possible. Last year, I'm going to talk about last year. So September 2024, I booked my hotel at the Crown Plaza. I think the rate was like high 200 and change, like 275, 280 or something along those lines. I kind of, that I even at the time I thought even that was a lot of money, but and it is a lot of money, but I thought, okay, it's a large hotel, lots of amenities. So I'm like, okay, I'll book the Wednesday through Sunday for that. And I did that in September, I think probably mid-September. So clearly I would say a month and a half after the National 2024, I was able to book the hotel for the next year. No problem. No issue whatsoever. Easy. I booked it through hotels.com even. So I thought, okay, after the National 2025 is over. August, what was it, 2nd? I left Chicago, came back, and the next week I waited about 3 or 4 days and I tried booking for like really early, maybe like days after this year's National. I tried booking the hotel, Crown Plaza, again for next year. I didn't, and nothing was up. Nothing was available. It showed the closest hotel for that was a mile and a half away. And I thought, okay, maybe the hotels in the area didn't open up their spaces yet. They just did, it's too soon. So I waited a few weeks. I would check every single week. Check another week, and still nothing. Check third-party apps. I checked through checked directly. Called, nothing. I go to the Nationals website, and they have a page dedicated for booking hotel rooms. And the agency that does all the booking for them said to check at the end of October, that they would open up the rooms at the end of October. And my thinking is, I'm pretty certain they did this last year as well. They would do this where they would just book a select number of rooms for every hotel. I didn't think they would book the hotel outright. And my thinking is like 2024's National, they probably did this, but the hotels didn't want to give up every single room. So friends here were able to book rooms no problem. And like there was no issues. But now this year, uh, you know, September, October this year, friends of mine were booking rooms at the Lowe's and the A Loft, and I think there was a couple other hotels that were like 15-20 minute walk. They were able to book those hotels, but they were booking those hotels at rates that were completely inflated. Lowe's was charging close to 500 a night for a double queen bed, or you know. So that's what's happening right now. The Crown Plaza, the Hyatt, all of the hotels that are literally dead set across the street from the Donald D. Stevens, you can't book them. Going back to what I said about the Nationals website, where you go to the page that is dedicated with the agency that does all the booking for them, you try to click to book a room, they're not available. Some say they're not available, some say they're sold out. And they said that these hotels were going to they consistently said check back at the end of October. I think I remember checking October 30th or the 31st, and I still didn't see anything there. And it wasn't until November, I don't know, like 3 or 4 days ago, I checked. Today's the 9th, so I guess November 5th, I checked, and everything was booked. And I called the agency and I asked them, I said, I don't understand. Like, how is it possible that every room is booked? And they said, well, we give priority to the staff and athletes and corporations that are involved in having in being involved with the national, and it's a lot of people and it adds up, and we have to give priority the dealers, the vendors, and all of that makes sense. But I just can't fathom that I don't know, 5 hotels can just book that quickly. I get that there's, it's a lot of people, but uh, it doesn't add up to me. So I said to the guys, like, how is it possible that I was able to book last year? And the guy said, oh, well, you must have gotten very lucky, because the hotels must have opened up rooms when they shouldn't have. But then I started thinking, like, how are we suggesting that everybody got lucky and got rooms? It doesn't make sense. And so I kind of just left it as is. I didn't say anything more to the guy. I said, all right, thank you. And I hung up, and I ended up booking a room at Lowe's, but I mean, it's like $2,000 for the nights that I'm going to be there. And that's a lot of money. And if I split it, I mean, even $1,000 it's a lot, but I got a 2 queen bed and I'm probably going to split it with somebody. And, you know, that's where things are at right now. Now, is it possible that the hotels could open up more rooms in the upcoming months? It's possible, I suppose. Um, I don't I don't understand, but I guess it's possible that more rooms could open. So yeah, listen, let me catch up on the chat here. Uh, just see. Dan says he saw it, went to book the hotels the day after the national. Literally nothing on the main drag was available. What is the closest Motel 6? There actually is a motel. I don't know if it's a Motel 6, but there is a motel that I would say is quasi walking distance and significantly less. Maybe even, but they're probably inflated as well, like 150 a night. John was saying closest one they didn't block is 1.7. Yeah. And so it's just unfair. It's really unfair. Not only are you blocking out collectors from being able to book rooms to experience the national, whether it being for the first time or a repeated visitor, you're blocking them out, and you're forcing them to either walk long distances in really hot weather. I mean, 1.7 miles doesn't sound like a lot, but I'm guessing it's probably a good 30 to 35-minute walk. And walking is not that big of an issue. I mean, I don't mind doing it. It probably is even more than that, maybe 45 minutes to an hour. The problem is that you're doing this in 90-degree weather. Now we got lucky. We got lucky this year is that the weather really wasn't that bad this year. Maybe in a day it was like 90 plus, but it's unfair. I mean, you can't. You gotta. I think it's unfair for if the Nationals really blocking hotels and forcing hotels to only give them access. It's just that's not right. Is the National paying for all these rooms or have guaranteed reservations? Otherwise, why play ball at the National? I don't know what the situation is. It's it seems like they, like I mentioned, last year was different. Last year I was able to book the room for this year's National really, really easily. And the guy said I was lucky. The agent that does all the booking for them said I was lucky. I don't buy it. Jeremy, what's up, man? Good to have you here. Bad week for the hobby. National blocking out rooms and hobby big wigs engaged organized price fixing. It's nuts, man. It's nuts. Just absolutely nuts. Are they going to do the whole second floor and didn't announce it yet? I don't know what they. I imagine they're going to do their trade nights again. I would be surprised if they doubled down uh, on their hotel on cracking down on the hotels, blocking collectors from being able to do their trades. The Hyatt was doing it though. Like I remember going into the Hyatt and seeing everybody at tables just hanging out, and that's the way it should be. Like what you know, it puts a it puts a sour taste in my mouth knowing how much crackdown there is and forcing hotels to shut things down. I mean, that's discouraging. Why do that? Is the National getting too big? I don't know, man. I don't know. That's it. It seems that way. I don't know. The first thing I think of is how does it compare to Fanatics? I can't compare it because I've never been to a Fanatics. Um, the National isn't too big. The greed of the show promoters has gotten too big. That's your answer right there. That's the answer. Thanks for addressing this, Sammy. Appreciate it. Yeah, Craig. It was something that's been bothering me. And so, because I've been checking week in and week out, and I don't know if we haven't, no one's really been having this discussion. I'm like, I know people have been booking their rooms. Matt from the Card Story told me that he booked his room and the amount he had to pay was it's just crazy. And I know others have, like, I know John Wade Boggs fan paid for his room, and it's like absurd how they're inflating the prices. Hey, Don, good to have you here, man. Glad you can be here. Uh, so yeah, Jason's saying there are hotels 5 or 10 minutes away that won't be inflated. We can chat, Sammy, but 5 or 10 minutes away by car, not by walking. And so there's a here's the thing: is that convenience? How much are you willing to pay for convenience? Being able to step out of the show. What I mean by convenience is being able to step out of the show, go back to your hotel room, relax, lay on your bed, relax, rest, and have that. That to me is that's a big one. And it's making even though it's crazy prices, I'm willing to put the money towards that just to have the convenience of being able to go back to my hotel room at any point anytime. How much of a price are you willing to put on that? Drew says I stayed 15 minutes out and drove in. Wasn't a bad drive. But I remember seeing cars lined up. The traffic was just insane with the traffic, the officers controlling traffic. I had a chance to talk with Carlos at the expo. Just a great take on the garbage in our hobby. If you haven't watched that video, Carlos and Dan, they highlight the shill bidding that's been going on lately. I know it was addressed earlier in the chat, but definitely check that out. It's a good interview, and I'm sure this topic is not going away anytime soon. What's unfair is booking the National 3 years in a row in Chicago. Yeah. Um, so last year, this year, and I guess 2020, was it 2027 will be in Chicago. I think the general frustration is that the National is becoming a bit less accommodating across the board between hotels, block socials, trade night impacts, and I'm hoping they let go a little bit on the trade night aspects. Let people who don't want to go to their trade nights do their own thing in the hotels. it was a To me, it was a major disappointment that we didn't have the YouTube get together, because at that hotel that Mike Moynihan from Baseball Collector booked or had from 2 years ago, that general atrium, because that was a lot of fun, perfect space for it. They cracked it down on it this year. It sucked. Rocket Rick, good to have you here, man. I mean, is the National going to have dealers on the whole second floor? Oh, that part. They had it last year, and I'm sure they're going to do it this year, but I hope they learn from their mistake last year that they expand the space and not make it so tight. That was terrible. Walking that space on the second floor, trying to navigate through, was just absolutely awful. I was told by the dealers they will be opening up more on the second floor in spring. Thank God. There you go. And there's your end. Thank you, Adam. I do get the convenience. Yeah. VIP passes used to come with parking passes, but I believe they did away with that. So you're paying for parking if you drive in. Yeah. And I think it's like, I don't know what it is, $20 a day, if I had to guess. It's not that hard to take your car. You just have to find a place to park. How many other nationals have walk-in convenience? Cleveland didn't, for sure. Um, Chicago does. Atlantic City does, yeah, Atlantic City does as well. Any chance that the vintage collectors will have a trade night at a location other than the convention center in 2026? That is TBD. Keith misses Cleveland. I can go either way. You're going to trade Lewis Taints at Jeff's official trade night and like it. There you go. On a positive note, Philly net 54 Strongsville before I even need to think about it. There you go, man. Yeah, you spoke truth right there. So Dan, you're going you're going this in December, because it'd be great to see you there. We'll definitely be there. Orlando's here, late to the party. It's all good, Orlando. So we're getting near the end of it. I've talked enough. Triple header tonight. Obviously, I started this at 7 p.m. Alex from Bowman 53, Card Room live at 8, and Caesar will be live at 9 p.m. on For Collectors. Just to recap tonight, For Collectors is working on a trade night in New York City that is in the works. Be on the lookout for that. There's more to be said about it, more announcements to be made about it. So again, For Collectors as a group, we will be co-organizing a trade night in New York City in February of 2026, this upcoming year, on a Sunday in the afternoon, after the football season is over, so mid to late February. So more to come with that. You're going to hear more about it. Just want to put a soft launch on that, let you know. It's going to be a lot of fun. I promise you guys that. There's going to be guaranteed, we will have pizza for the event. It's in gift bags as well. So it's going to be, I believe, it's going to be a free event, so you can come in. And like I said, the location, the co-organizers, who's organizing it with us, all of that will be announced in the next few weeks once we kind of get everything confirmed and verified. All of that information will be announced. But again, I appreciate you guys joining me tonight. If you haven't already done so, done a couple of videos on promoting and Just Collect. You can see, let me see if I can do this right. There he goes. Just Collect, sponsoring this live stream, as well as you guys know, I'm going to be a brand ambassador, consultant for them. If you have any questions about a collection that you have, whether you want to get it appraised or you are thinking about moving it, and definitely let me know. You can also let Leighton know. For those that are unfamiliar with Leighton, he is one of the best in this business. Just somebody who has been doing this for a long time, very passionate, very driven, and a collector, a true collector, and somebody who cares very much about this hobby. And so, again, reach out if you have any questions, or if you are looking to buy or add to your collection. Leighton has a vast inventory of great cards that I released a video a couple days ago showcasing that. But thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys joining me tonight. We had probably a record night, almost 60, more than 60 people watching. So thank you guys so much for hanging out. We have 55 now. Stick around go over to Alex of Bowman 53, Cardroom Live at 8 p.m., and then go over to For Collectors at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will see you guys later sometime this week, but have a great night. Take care, everybody.